Okay, so ang topic natin is yung thermodynamic properties of water and then steam conditions. Ngayon, yung thermodynamic properties of water, kailangan ito sa processes. Processes of vapors. Okay? Kailangan mo ng saturation temperature, ng saturation pressure, specific volume, internal energy, enthalpy, and entropy. Karaniwan, pag pumasok yung mga process natin ng isobaric, isothermal, ano pa yan? Specific volume, saturation pressure, temperature, isometric, kapag entropy, isentropic, meron ka rin dyang polytropic, tapos meron ka dito, kapag enthalpy naman, that is throttling. Hindi ko alam kung naituro sa inyo itong throttling. Throttle. Now, for steam conditions, makikita nyo dyan, you can go to your steam tables. Tignan natin. Punta kayo ng steam tables nyo. Yung steam tables nyo kasi meron dyang mga, may mga certain points dyan na makikita nyo lamang itong mga sinasabing ito. Okay? Yan. Itong subcooled liquid, okay? Saan mo makikita yan, sir? Pwede rin yung subcooled and compressed liquid, makikita nyo yan sa table number 4, kung di ako nagkakamali. Table number 4. Yan. Maikli lang yan. Yan, liquid. Nandyan yan, table 4. Table 4. Yung saturated liquid, andito yan sa, depende, saturated liquid, kung at saturation pressures or saturation temperatures. Yan, dito sa table 1 and 2. Pag wet mixture, you should get the quality first, the dryness or the wetness. You get the quality X. Okay? Pag saturated vapor naman and superheated vapor, makukuha mo pa rin to. Depende. Okay? Depende pa rin tong saturated vapor. Doon pa rin sa temperatures and pressures na saturation. Superheated vapor at table 3 na. Ano ba yon? Kapag table 1, sinasabi dyan that is saturation temperatures. Table 2, that is saturation pressures. Pagbabasihan mo yung pressure. Okay? And then superheated vapor if yung conditions doon na from table 1 and 2, some of the conditions surpasses what is stated as saturated. Ayan. Marami tayong conditions dyan. Now, we have subcooled liquid. Okay? By definition, it is one which has a temperature lower than the saturation temperature. Tatandaan nyo ito. One that has a temperature lower than the saturation temperature. Sir, tignan mo you can see, punta kayo ng table, table 1, kasi saturation pressure eh. Sabi dito, you have water at 10 degrees Celsius. Okay? Water at 10 degrees Celsius. Okay? Yan yung mga saturation temperatures dyan. Pero, kung binigyan ka ng 0.0012276 MPa, which has a saturation temperature of 9 degrees Celsius, supposedly, yung PSAT mo na binigay dito, meron kang and PSAT. 'Di ba? Ano yung PSAT na binigay dito? Doon sa problem, doon sa statement ko. Water at 0.0012276 MPa. 0.0012276 MPa. Check nyo saturation pressure at saturation temperature niya is 10 degrees Celsius, pero ang binigay sa yung actual temperature is 9 degrees Celsius, then you could say na it is subcooled. Oh, kita nyo? Yung at given condition on the steam table, as recorded, ibinigay sa yung temperature na actual is lower than that of the saturation temperature at a given pressure. Okay? Hello? Gets ba natin? Yes, syempre. Now, compressed liquid naman. You can say kapag subcooled liquid, ibig sabihin, yung temperature niya is lower than that of the saturation temperature at a given saturation pressure. Huwag natin pansinin yung definition. Okay? By the book yan eh. So, compressed liquid. Okay? One which has a pressure higher than that of the saturation pressure corresponding to existing temperature. Now, kung yung una, binasihan natin na we are given a certain pressure, you go to table number 2. Pwede rin table number 1. Okay? Pero mas maganda kasi table number 2, pressure kagad yung nasa unahan. Okay? Given dito. Sabi dito, ayan, mamaya, i-rumble natin para maintindihan nyo pa rin kahit naka-rumble. Sabi dyan, okay, yung pressure daw na ibinigay sa'yo at the given existing temperature, you are given a T saturation, and syempre, yung T saturation yun, given on the table, you have a T saturation. Now, the given pressure is higher, is what? Higher than that of the saturation. Yung binigay sa yung actual. Okay? Kung dito, pwede rin yan magkabaliktad. Okay? Even here. Okay. Saan mo titignan ito? Pwede mo itong tignan sa table 2. Kasi, ibibigay sa'yo dito, meron kang existing pressures. Okay? Sa saturation pressures. Table. Sa table 2. Dito, you look it up at table 1. Ano ba yung table 1? That is saturation temperatures. At a saturated temperature, meron kang given na PSAT. And yung given mo na actual pressure, okay, is higher than that of the saturation temperature. Saturation pressure. Now, let's go to table number 1. Okay. Meron ka ditong binigay na ang TSAT niya at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay? Water has a pressure of 0.120 MPa. Okay, ang binigay sa yung actual is yung P is ang saturation niya is TSAT 100. Ang PSAT mo is ilan? 0.120 MPa. You look it up at table 1, makikita mo sa table 1 mo na ang saturation pressure is 0.10135 MPa. Then we could say, at a given dun sa table mo na saturation, the pressure that is actually given is higher than that of the saturation recorded. Ibig sabihin, it is a compressed liquid. Sa madaling sabi, kapag mas mataas daw yung saturation mas mataas yung actual pressure mo dun, saturation given, compressed yan. Paano ba nagiging compressed ang isang bagay? Di ba pag kinompress mo, anong tumataas? Yung pressure, no? Di ba? Going back to your thermodynamics. Pag kinompress mo isang bagay, tumataas ang pressure, but lumiliit ang volume? Recall, tandaan niyo yan. Okay. So, I think, naintindihan nyo naman. Dito naman. Paano nagiging subcooled liquid? Kaya nga subcooled eh. Subcooled. Ibig sabihin, mas malamig siya dun sa current situation ng liquid or current saturation of the liquid. Okay? Saturated liquid. Paano pag naging saturated yan? Ibig sabihin, lahat ng saturation points mo the actual temperature and then the actual pressure is equal to that of the saturation pressures. Okay? Then, we could say saturated siya. So dito, sa table mo, you are given at 65 degrees Celsius, water is at 0.02503 MPa. O, ibig sabihin, nandun siya sa table, hindi siya lumampas. That is now saturation. Okay? Yan yun. Paano naging wet mixture yan? Sir, it is a combination of a saturated vapor and saturated liquid. Mamaya, mas maganda ipakita ko sa inyo ito na nasa table. Okay? Nasa ano siya, nasa diagram. Now, saturated vapor. Saturated vapor naman, kung ang saturated liquid mo, mamaya, papakita ko ito sa TS. Pakita ko sa TS and TV. Ito rin, papakita ko rin itong wet mixture pagdating ng TS and PV. Ito rin, saturated vapor at TS and PV. Superheated vapor, pakita ko na rin. Ayan. Dito. Pressure volume muna. Anything that is within the line, that is saturation lang ang tawag dito. Saturation line. This is the critical point, okay? Yung critical point mo ang nagdi-divide sa iyong liquid if that is a liquid or vapor. Kapag lumampas ka na dito sa critical point na to, saturated vapor na to kapag nandito sa linya. Okay? Pag lumampas ka ng linya, ibig sabihin, this is now the superheated region. This is the subcooled or liquid region. Okay? Anything na nandyan sa linya, pag nasa linya, ibig sabihin, nandito sa ating steam table. Gets? Or nandun sa ating saturation temperatures and pressures table. Okay? Kapag wala na sa linya, ibig sabihin, nandun na yan sa other tables. Ano yung mga tables na yon? Yung tables ng critical point, yung tables ng yung vapor, table 3, or yung table ng compressed liquid. Okay? And anything that na nandito under that line, that is the wet region. Sa wet region mo, you will measure X. Okay? Sabi nila walang halaga ang X. Basta sa steam, meron pong halaga ang X. Because it determines if your mixture is a vapor or a wet mixture. The dryness factor nandyan. Madi-determine mo din. Okay? If your graph will fall under the line of your saturation. And that determines the condition of steam after extraction, after condensation, and it before goes to your pag pumunta kayo ng Rankine, dun sa iyong steam generator. Okay? Ito naman, sa temperature and entropy diagram. Na temperature and entropy diagram, the same as is, ito yung iyong saturation line. And anything that befalls that line is at saturation conditions. Either saturation pressure or saturation temperature. Lahat yun nakalist doon sa ating table 1 and 2. Nandyan lahat sa linyang yan. O ngayon, the values that is not in saturation, ibig sabihin, it befalls dito sa region na to and sa region na to. Anything that is in this region, subcooled or compressed region. Okay? Compressed region or liquid. Dito naman, anything that is beyond here is at critical region or superheated region. Ngayon, sir, ano ba yung critical point na sinasabi mo at yung triple point? Now, go to your steam tables. Makikita mo dyan. Doon sa pinakauna, yung pinakamaunang yung susunod sa 0. At 0 temperature, yung nasa baba niya, 0.1. Bakit may linya? Kasi at 0.1 degrees Celsius, okay? 0.01 degrees Celsius, that is the triple point of your at 0.01 degrees Celsius. That is the triple point, okay, of your water. Either the water is turned into solid and determine it as liquid, okay? Hindi natin alam yung triple point niya. Okay? That is the triple point of water. Now, that critical point of water, tignan nyo ulit. Punta kayo dyan. Yung pinakadulo at saturation temperatures sa saturated line mo, yun ang pinakadulo, 374.136. Ibig sabihin, either vapor or saturated vapor or superheated vapor yung water. That is the definition of your critical point. Okay? And anything that befalls under the saturation line, we call it a wet mixture, where it can be determined using the dryness factor or even the quality of the steam, which is X. Okay? Oh. And this line, okay, within this line, lahat ng values mo is in F. Liquid, ibig sabihin VF, UF, HF, SF. Dito naman, lahat ng linya, nandyan HG, okay, UG, UG. Okay, SG, VG. And anything na nandito sa below ng line na yan, ng wet region, okay, ano, VFG, UFG, SFG, tsaka HFG. Yung values niya, nandito sa under ng line. Okay? Ano pa? Mhm. May tuturo pa ba ako sa inyo? Yun lang yung definition niya. Ganun lang babasihan nyo para makita nyo kung superheated, or saturated, or liquid. Titignan nyo yung pressure and temperature. Okay? Lagi naman 2 point ang binibigay dyan. Or, bibigay sa'yo S, U, H, and D, simply yung V. Titignan nyo lang kung magpapass siya dun. 2 points parati yan. Okay? So, meron tayo ditong application. Determine whether subcooled, saturated, wet mixture, saturated vapor, and superheated vapor. Okay? Water at 200 degrees Celsius. Tignan natin sa ano nyo, sa tables natin. Table ano yan? Yung may temperature, syempre table 1. Kaya, 200 degrees Celsius. Page, ano, page 4, 200, hindi, page 5 pala, 200 eh. 200 o 1.5538 o desaturated o saturated vapor na yan. Saturated. 150, 15538 o syempre hindi na, mas mababa na yung temperature. Binigay sa'yo temperature sa 150. 150, ibig sabihin that is 0.4758 o ibig sabihin this is superheated. Super. O 15538 inulit lang, saturated. 300, 15538, mas mataas na ito, mas mababa yung pressure. Ibig sabihin, this is, ano, subcooled. Subcooled yan, mas mababa yung pressure eh. Tignan nyo sa 300 degrees Celsius. Ano ba yung pressure doon? 300 o 8.581, ibig sabihin, subcooled yan. Mas mababa yung pressure eh. Okay? Steam at 15538, binigay na yung pressure. U is 17. 15538. Tignan mo dun sa ano. Sir, wala akong nakita sa ano. Wala akong nakita sa saturation pressures ng 15538. O edi mag-interpolate ka. Pero pahihirapan pa ba sarili mo? Siyempre, hindi na. Tignan mo dito, ano ba yung saturation dyan. Yung saturation niya, 15538, nandyan naman yan. Nakita na natin, di ba? At 200 degrees Celsius. Hanapin mo na yun doon. O, dito pa rin yan sa temperatures. 15538, yung kanyang U. Hindi natin ma-determine. Ibig sabihin, lumampas siya ng UG. Hindi ba? Hindi siya lumampas ng UG. Lumampas siya ng UHG. Pero that is under, tignan nyo itong U na binigay sa'yo. Yung U is 17. Hindi. 17 kilojoule per kilogram. Tignan nyo yung UF tsaka UG. Huwag mong pansinin yung UFG. That is 850.65. Tapos yung UG niya, saturation, 255, 2595.3. 2595.3. Ibig sabihin, yung U mo is greater than UF, but not greater than UG. Ibig sabihin, kung itong dalawang to, andito sa linya ng saturation, this is UF, this is UG, andito yung U mo. Ibig sabihin, meron kang X dyan, and then this is, wet region. Okay? Or wet mixture. Okay? You do 6 to 10. You do 6 to 10. So, ma-familiarize na kayo. And then, you don't need to, interpolate pa kasi makikita mo naman yan pagdating ng tables. Okay? I think that will be all. To follow up on the processes, tignan natin kung kakayanin ng oras. Okay? Thank you for listening.